Good morning. Just riding home. I figured I'd get on and talk for a minute. I know I didn't set it for anybody to be here, so I don't expect anybody to show up. But I just was wondering. I don't know a lot about politics and stuff. I mean, I do follow it some, but I'm just curious. And I know, like I said, nobody's in here, but if y'all could comment after I'm done. Um, I know we elect state officials and stuff like that. But I'm just wondering why, like, when big laws are passed, why we um, don't get to vote. Just wondering. Like, I feel like if it's gonna be something that affects public safety, just wondering why we don't get to vote. Like when they change punishments for people. Like, I know we elect officials to vote for us or whatever, but I feel like when it's something that affects public safety, it should be a vote. I don't understand why we don't get to vote. I feel like they keep lessening sentences for crimes and we don't get a say so. I was just wondering because I saw something where they've lessened punishments for certain crimes against children, and our officials okay it, and I know we elect them and stuff, but I feel like we should get a say so in it. We should get a vote. I mean, because it affects us. Our kids are more at risk than somebody that's got security and protection, and hi y'all, good morning. I was just a little frustrated this morning. I saw where some charges against some crimes against kids punishments were lowered, and I don't understand why the public doesn't get a say so. I don't understand. I feel like we should get to vote. If we're willing to step out of our job and our home to go vote, we should get to vote, especially when it comes to our kids. Kids have been pushed aside, and it's really sad to me. I don't think that safety of kids should be on the back burner. Tennessee is getting definitely too many liberals in Tennessee. I don't know. Yeah, I know, Daniel. It really is, and it's sad. It's we also live in a time where there's not a lot of parents too, and that's sad too. Good afternoon. Hope you have a good day too, Christy. But it's just sad, I feel like people that care about kids are few and far between anymore, and it's just really sad. Parents are few and far between. You can't trust daycares, you can't trust schools, and if you're like me, your kids have to go to public schools because you can't afford private schools. So I don't know. It's just, hey, how are you? Limu, Emu. I love that name. Absolutely love it. But I don't know. It's just, I think about that all the time with my kids. I've never put any of my kids in daycare ever. I had a daycare in my home for a long time when my kids were growing up because I wasn't gonna let anybody else watch them. Because I don't trust anybody when it comes to my kids. My own grandfather was a child molester, so if you have one in your family, you don't trust anybody. But mama with no drama. I could care less about any of that drama, but I never trusted anybody with my kids, outside my mom and dad. Of course I let them, but nobody else. I stayed home with my kids. I had a daycare inside my home for years and years, and then I worked after they all got in school. But you just can't trust anybody, and we gotta, we should be able to trust the people we put in office to protect everybody's kids. And it's sick. You can't trust DCS, you just failing our kids. School systems failing our kids. And I feel like, we should get a vote. We should get a vote on all these laws they're passing that has to do with anything that has to do with public safety. It's not fair because it affects all of us more than it affects the people up there, in our state capitals that are voting on them. I don't know. I just get, it makes me mad that people who commit tax fraud, or steal money or, embezzle or whatever, get more time than, pedophiles or, oh my God, I don't know. Y'all, if anybody touches my kids, I'm going full law-abiding citizen. If you haven't seen that movie, you need to watch it because I'm going full-fledged law-abiding citizen, and I'm going to, if you make it to jail, bail you out and game on. Game on. Because the last thing they're going to find is hanging from the courtyard. I mean, that's all there is to it. Like, I'm going to handle everything on my own because, first of all, nobody's going to touch my kid and live. Nobody. You're not going to spend your life in jail. You're not going to be protected in four walls of a room. You're not. I'm going to, full law-abiding citizen mode is what you're going to get. Because if you're going to ruin my child's life, if you don't take their life, and you're going to ruin my child's life, you're not going to have one. Like, you're not going to be in four walls and be protected. Not going to happen. You're not going to have 3 meals a day. You're not going to have cable. You're not going to have access to a college education. You're not going to have a bed to sleep in. You're not going to have that. Like, no, I will bail you out if it takes every penny I have, and game on, because that's just, you don't do that. There's got to be harsher punishment, not lessening the punishment for these sickos. We can't do that. We can't. And we are. I'm sitting here riding with my friend's little girl in the car, and I look at kids and I'm like, how do you do that? How do you hurt kids? How are these parents killing their kids? How are these babysitters hurting kids? How are these daycares? How are these school people? We're failing them. We're failing our kids every day. We're failing them. We got to step up as parents. We got to step up as employers that are hiring people. We got to step up. Like, we're failing them. My mom always said, kids are put on a pedestal. They should come before anything. And they should. They should be way up here, and we should be way down here, because we should always make sure that they have, protection, and they should be able to be kids and not have to grow up so fast and enjoy being a kid, get to make their own way, have an imagination. We shouldn't tell them what they're going to be, what they're going to do. There's so many things that bothers me with the way kids are living these days. So many, I let my kids be kids for a long time, and if that meant keeping them away from certain family members, when they were growing up, then I did. I got told that I thought I was better than everybody because I wouldn't let my kids stay certain places. Oh well, then I guess I didn't think I was better. I thought my kids were better. I thought my kids were a lot better, and I have damn good kids, and they got to be kids. When they were younger, they got to be little. They got to have fun. They got to not have their childhood ripped away because of idiots that wanted to take that from them. I got to be a kid. I wanted my kids to be a kid, and kids don't get to be kids anymore. Parents want them to grow up, and it's, I have, y'all, my daughter's gay. My daughter's getting married to a female. I have no problem with anybody that's grown doing what they want to do. I don't. Everybody should be happy. The worst thing to be is miserable. Me and my ex-husband were married for a long time. Neither one of us were happy. It was a miserable situation for both of us, and you should be happy. You know, you shouldn't spend so many years sad and unhappy. Life is too short, and if somebody makes you happy, then grab that and hold on to it. I don't care who they are, you know. But we shouldn't be forcing things on kids, you know. We shouldn't. Um, if you have a daughter, let her be a little girl. If she wants to be a tomboy, let her. You know, if you have a little boy and he wants to play with baby dolls when he's little, let him. I played with Matchbox cars when I was younger. I hung around my brother. All I wanted to do was play football. You know, and I'm okay. I mean, I'm okay. Um, my oldest son, I got him a baby doll before I had Billy because I wanted him to learn how to treat a baby. He's married. He has a wife. He's okay. You know. Um, my daughter and her soon-to-be wife are both very girly women. Like it's you just let them be kids. Let them, you know, don't tell them at a young age that, hey, you don't have to be boy or girl. That's not okay, guys. That's not okay. They got to identify as something, because then they have nothing to, they have to identify as something. What are you then? You know, what are you? Because that's not fair to them. They have to know who they are. They have to have that confidence and learn who they are. You got to learn who you were. Let them learn who they are, you know? We're just changing so many things. Like, I see these schools that are putting all these books in them and then taking these books out because they don't want kids seeing how the real world is. You know, we're changing history. My kids will come home and tell me something they learned in history, and I'm like, no, wait a minute, wait a minute. That is not at all how that happened. Like, not at all. You know, slavery was sugar coated for my kids. Like, I'm trying to figure out how in the world can you sugarcoat slavery, because you can't. You can't sugarcoat slavery. And my kids' history that they don't even have a book for, they use a computer. The little videos they watch, it like makes it not so bad. And I'm like, what are we doing here? What are we teaching our kids? What are we're ruining their minds. I don't know. I don't know. I was such a tomboy, and I learned history the right way, and I'm okay. Like, I'm okay. I feel like I'm a really good person, and I'm well grounded, and I'm not out here doing nothing stupid, and I'm not a a boil on society. I get up and I work and I take care of my kids, and I don't try to live above my means. I just make sure that we got four walls and we got food on the table, and a little extra, and the kids have animals so they can learn to love nature too, and all this extra stuff. We don't have to do that for kids, guys. They're doing it for themselves. They're not doing it for their kids. It's not about their kids. It's about a trend, and they want to follow it, and you're hurting your kids. I saw the thing about the little boy that is in middle school and supposedly transgender, and you don't even know who you are in middle school. Like, you don't even know who you are in middle school, and this kid was transgender, and it shouldn't even be legally allowed. And he beat a little girl with a Stanley Cup, and he had a list of people that he was going to beat after her, and I feel sorry for that little boy, because he's probably so confused. He's got all this stuff going on in his mind, and kids are sponges, guys. They're sponges. They can take in all this information, but it has to be age appropriate, and it has to be at a level they can understand. I've always, like I said before, I've always been very open and honest with my kids, like from day one, from a very young age. But at age appropriate levels, like, I knew how to word it and how to say it. My mom and dad, for a long time, were like, you tell your kids too much. But then after my kids were like teenagers, my dad said, you raised really good kids. And that's probably one of my proudest moments ever as a mom, because just to get that validation, because I did. I raised really good kids, and I have a really good relationship with them, and we talk, and it's because I was open and honest, and But I could do that at age appropriate levels. Like, it's okay to tell your kids. Like, I'd rather tell my kids things if they have a question and be honest and not sugarcoat it, because somebody else is going to tell them, and you can tell them things at a young age and make it okay, because they're sponges, guys. They need that information, and they need it to grow its building blocks, and but then to take and force all this other bullshit in their minds. Like I said, they're sponges. You force all this bullshit in their mind, they can't comprehend it. It's not age appropriate. They're not ready for it. They're not ready for sexuality stuff. They're not ready for it. And all this stuff being passed where they can have hormone blockers, and all these books in school telling them that, boys should be with boys, girls should be with girls, and that's something for later. I mean, even as a teenager, I guess, teenager, your stuff is, going on. You know what you're attracted to at that age. Later teenagers, not early teenagers. And then, hey, if you're a girl, hey, I kind of like girls, or boys, hey, I kind of like boys. You're learning at that age, but not middle school, not elementary school. Like, it's not okay to force those things. It's not. And that's what they're doing, and we're damaging kids, guys. We're failing them. We're failing them so bad. Yeah, they do need books back in school, because my son is 8th grade, and he came home, and he said one of his best days at school was their internet was down, and they had to use books, and he was so excited to be able to use books, and that is so sad. That breaks my heart. He's like, the books were so old, like these textbooks were so old, and he said, but I loved it. I loved using the books. And why are our kids on laptops all day? You're telling kids that they only need so much screen time per day, but they're in school all day on a laptop all day long, like all day. I don't understand. I feel sorry for our kids in the future. I feel sorry for, what their life's going to be like. I feel bad. All my kids have phones. I will not let them go to school without a phone, because I want to know they're safe. But I have a parent thing on their phone where they don't have access to certain things on their phone. And when they come home, phones get put up, and we spend time together. Like I told you, every night is dinner at the table. We sit down and have dinner. We go outside for a while, spend time with our animals, because I think learning about that is very important, and it's good for growth, kids with animals. We sit in the living room and talk and hang out and find out how their day was, because I think it's important to find out how your kid's day was. And we sit and watch a movie together at night. My youngest is 12. My oldest is 15. And we take her driving and let her practice driving. And I don't let them sit on their phones all day, on a laptop all day long. And doctors tell you, 2 hours of screen time a day. Well, they're getting 6 or 7 in school, so they don't need any at home. But I don't know. Yeah, some parents are pushing that on their kids. Yeah. I just want, my daughter is 15, and I love that every day she comes home. She just wants to tell me how her day was. Like, she just wants to tell me. And a lot of people don't get that. The first thing she wants to do is come in and tell me, hey, this happened in school, and, this girl did this, and this girl did that, and, and I love the fact that when they walk through the door, as soon as they walk through the door, I can tell by the expression on their face if they've had a good day or not a good day. Because I'm very involved in my kids. I want to know, I want to be able to read them. I want to know if they're okay, or I can tell by Caitlin's face if something's happened with her that day. Same with Corey, same with Rachel. And I love that, I love it. I don't know, easier for the teachers. Yeah, my kids, Blue Eyes, my kids have a lot of teachers that just say, hey, open your Chromebooks, and there's videos, watch the videos, answer the questions. But they all have like one teacher that they really like that actually stands up in class and teaches, but it's just one. So 1 out of 6, what is that? What is that? You're getting paid to teach. Teach them. Get up and teach them. Stand in front of class. I know there's no chalkboards anymore. There's probably not even whiteboards. It's probably those smart boards now. But use your smart board. Teach them. That's good. Just me joy. That's how I was with my dad. That's how my kids are with me. You just know. You can feel them, you can see their face. If you're a mom, you just feel it. You just know. If you're a parent, you just know. It's just my phone is on 1%, guys. It is about to die. I will go in and charge it and I'll get back on, but I just wanted to vent this morning for a little while. You guys have a blessed day. It's about to die, but I'll get back on here in just a little while. Today is my day off, so I'll try to get on here a little more. But I love you guys. I just wanted to vent for a minute because we got to put kids back on top again. But I love y'all. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys later.